Imagination is the beginning of the creative process. You need to imagine something from nothing, meaning you need to start putting together energy at the mental level that will later become materialized and become fact in the world of the body. So it all starts with imagination. Imagination is creating something from nothing. You may alter an image of something you've seen, rearrange it. You're modifying an image. That's called image modification through imagination. Or you may create something from the very beginning that has never happened before. Now, an inventor is what an inventor does. An inventor starts using his visualization, his imagination, to be able to form blueprints and create models in the world of the mind of what he is creating, what he imagines that is needed. And once he sees it functioning in the world of the mind and values that type of functioning to be valuable for humanity, then he goes on and at the world of the body materializes that thought. So everything that has become materialized had first taken place in the world of the mind. It had to first take place in the world of the mind, or else it would never take place in the world of physics. So this is what happens when we talk about imagination. You need to create something for the first time that does not exist in the world of the mind, then you materialize it, and that's a new invention or discovery. That's what we call it in physics. So it all starts in the world of the mind. This is the dimension for the creative process. Imagination means creating something that does not exist. Say, for instance, that if you want to help through this imagination a sick person to get well, you have seen the person functioning when the person is sick. You know and you have seen x-rays of what the problem is and so forth. Well, you enter this dimension and you visualize first, of course, with your left brain hemisphere, the impression you made with the sense of sight. You saw the blueprint or the x-ray. You saw the person in person. And you have that impression in your left brain hemisphere. Then once you get into the right brain hemisphere function, you make an impression from the left to the right, transfer it, and here now you can modify it. Modify that impression in the direction of the patient getting well. Visualize it here now. You see, you have transferred the visualization image, a visualized image, from the left to the right, and then once at the right, you start making alterations here. You make alterations if you saw something that is not supposed to be, you erase it, change it. This is your blueprint. And then keep thinking on it and projecting it to the person, and before you know it, the body will take on that change, you see. There's a project that was conducted with the cardiac patients, heart patients. Two groups were selected. Both groups were given conventional type of medication that they know they needed, but group number 2 was being helped by 7 clairvoyants. At the end of the project, the same applications of medical applications of conventional medication to both groups. Group number 1 improved 54%, and group number 2 improved 93%. So the researchers are saying there's something going on, that these clairvoyants did help these patients become better through the use of imagination. They did not touch the patient. They were not in the environment of the patient. They were at a distance, but they were imagining these changes taking place. You can do it for yourself. You can imagine your own body on your so-called mental screen of your mind. You can put on your mental screen anybody, including yourself. That's where your eyes are rolled up slightly 20 degrees higher from the horizontal point of view, or horizon type of concept that we have, 20 degrees higher, and that is the area of the mental screen. Now, anything you want to correct, you place it there. Anything you want to perceive, you expect it to appear on your mental screen. Now, this is the mental screen area that we use from the right brain hemisphere. But notice one thing. We need to consider time, the time factor. When you consider the time factor, when your consciousness or your human intelligence, your awareness, your soul, your spirit, call it whatever you want, is operated from the left brain hemisphere, then time as we know it, the past is behind us, the present is where we stand, and the future is ahead of you. You're walking from the past to the present, you walk towards the future. See? Now, when human intelligence, your awareness, your consciousness, your soul or spirit, call it what you want, is operated from the right brain hemisphere, then time is different. It's as though human intelligence has gotten out of the physical dimension and observing physics from a mental point of view. Now, the past is to your right, the present is ahead of you, and the future is to your left. Okay? So now, in having things happen, you want to place the changing effects that you want to take place on the left when operating from the right brain hemisphere. You see, the past is composed, the right, of materialized thoughts. The present, the future, is composed or is a place where mental projects are being materialized. The process of materializing thoughts as the present. Now, the future to your left, let's say thoughts, concepts, let's say, have been conceived. This is where we have conceived our ideas. It's composed of conceived thoughts, but not yet materialized. That means they're waiting to become materialized on the left. So it is here that we can alter the process of materialization. That we can interfere or interject through the concept of creating our models, our schematics, our blueprints at the right brain hemisphere level, at the alpha dimension, to be able to take part in materializing those concepts in the future when they are placed on the left. Now remember that the left brain hemisphere is the future. To the left is the future when you operate from the right brain hemisphere. Now here you need to function in the future in a past tense sense. Notice how confusing it is. It's like the confusion we created when we found that we were the first to learn to function with the right brain hemisphere in the subconscious. They were telling us, scientists were saying this is not possible until we proved it scientifically in a psychophysiology lab at a university. Now, after this, they didn't question us anymore. But then again, we're the first ones to come up and say this. So then we're saying that the right brain hemisphere, the alpha dimension, 10 cycles. You need to learn to control this. Now, the left one is for the future. The right is the past, the present is straight ahead of you, and the future to your left operates from the right brain hemisphere. But you need to function on your left in a past tense sense. You need to complete the project that you're working on. For instance, if you want to become successful, you imagine yourself already successful. That's in the past, you see. As though it's already materialized. But you need to visualize and you need to feel it. You need, with all your sensing faculties, sense it in the left brain hemisphere as though it's already happened. So this is what we think Jesus meant when he said, pray, believing you have received the past tense, and you shall receive. But you need to believe from the right dimension in the kingdom of heaven and placed in the proper position to the left in order for it to happen. Well, remember that cancer is a problem of the immune system, as AIDS now is found to be. Any health problem is a problem of the immune system, a weakening of the immune system, or the confused situation of the immune system. Now, the immune system gets weaker and confused when we are not agreeing with what we're doing in the outer world, when you're contradicting yourself. You say, smoking hurts, I'll smoke anyhow. And this is a confusion of your consciousness that guides the immune system, that keeps it strong, and starts separating your consciousness from strengthening your immune system because you're doing the opposite of what you say is wrong. And every time you do something that's wrong, that's called the guilt complex. The guilt complex is the worst stressor that hurts the immune system the most. So here we have a person with cancer means a person who has a weak immune system or a confused immune system. So we need to straighten out the problem of the immune system before the patient can be healed. If not, even if the patient is a doctor, he's going to die just as dead as anybody else. So they need to work on the immune system. Now, what can we do and how can we function to be able to strengthen the immune system? Use your mind. You can use your mind and that dimension to strengthen your immune system with immune system strengthening exercises. There are such a thing to strengthen the immune system, and by so doing, you're helping your medical people to use what they know to quickly solve the problem. The right brain hemisphere functions from within the deeper levels to the outer dimensions, and the right one from the outer to the inner dimensions, which means the right brain hemisphere solves problems by attraction, and the left brain hemisphere solves problems by repulsion. So they meet along the way. So medical doctors are using the repulsion type, bring things into order by force means, by applying physical means to correct the problem, mind from within to make the arrangements to accept what the doctor is doing. And you solve the problem a lot faster. When the patient just throws himself at the doctor, see what you can do for me, that's a bad patient. When the patient says, doctor, you do whatever you know, and I'll do whatever I know, and just get the problem done, that's a better patient. Well, the first medical doctor, the first oncologist that came through our work and learned our system has become very famous in that area. Now he's teaching other medical doctors around the world how to use mind, visualization, imagination, and the alpha dimension to strengthen the immune system to help doctors solve the problems a lot faster. This doctor who has taught this, he says a very highly successful rate when the person accepts their manner of treatment. But a lot of people, since this has been brought up and blown up so much, so highly, that they're afraid that this very simple technique is just losing their time. They want radiation, they want chemotherapy, they will be burned up, they want the real thing, they say. But the real thing is working from within, not from without. But they don't understand this. And because of this, they sometimes fail to continue the simple mind training exercises to strengthen the immune system and end up using chemotherapy and radiation therapy, and before you know it, they're gone. The most important thing for human beings, their health. You have a healthy person, this person can be successful in anything. You have a sick person, it's very difficult to become successful in anything. So, this is why I think, here's my own personal concept again, that Jesus said, seek the kingdom of heaven first, function within God's consciousness or rightness, and everything else will be added unto you. Well, this is the same thing I said to Peter. Peter, now you take these keys and teach people how to do it. Then whatever you do in the kingdom of heaven will be done in the kingdom of earth. Whatever is undone in the kingdom of heaven, word of the mind, will be undone in the kingdom of earth, word of the body. Now go teach people that this is already possible. This is at hand. To do what? To heal the sick, he says first. To cleanse the lepers, health problems again. To cast out demons, psychological problems also. It deals first basically with health problems, yes. Imagination is very similar to a takeoff from visualization. Imagination is a guessing game. For instance, you tell a child when he is between 7 and 10 years of age, your aunt is coming from Europe, you've never seen your aunt, sonny or daughter, whoever you are, but you're talking to the child with their eyes closed, remember? Because eyes open gets you out of alpha, gets you into the beta dimension, gets you into 20 cycles. The focusing of the sense of sight requires you be at 20 vibrations of the brain, and you cannot hold on to 10 vibrations of the brain, which is the alpha connection, and the right brain hemisphere connection. So then you tell the child, with eyes closed, ask him, can you tell me what your aunt, whatever her name is, looks like? She's coming home next month, see if you're going to be right or not. The child may answer, how do I know if I haven't seen her? Well, let's play a guessing game then. Now, what color of hair do you guess your aunt has? Whatever comes to your mind, say it. If he's doing this with his eyes closed, he's using imagination. He's creating something from nothing. He has never seen his aunt. So he's going to say, well, I feel that I should say black. Put it down. Is it straight? Is it curly? Put it down. Color of eyes? Put it down. Is she going to wear a hat? Put it down. What color? Put it down. What color of dress? Also, put it down, and so on. Before you know it, the child is guessing, more or less. So he's going to improve his guessing faculty as he practices. Before you know it, the child is going to be correct when this is being done, even though at the time, the aunt does not even know what she's going to wear when she's going to visit. See? Now that's how good the child is going to be. This is what I believe. Jesus was teaching his disciples that he said prophets and wise men. This is the prophetic part of it. In other words, the child is conceiving thoughts that maybe the aunt had already figured out what she's going to wear when she's going to go to the States, you see. If she's coming from Europe, she already has figured out that she wants to buy a dress like so, or wear a dress like so, or a hat like so, and so on, when she's going to visit this family. Well, this area is conceived thoughts in the future, not yet materialized. A clairvoyant can become aware of thoughts already materialized in the past to the right, or thoughts that are being materialized in the present, in the future, to his front, we say, ahead of him, in his present, and he become aware of thoughts that have been conceived yet not materialized. And the child's going to be right because he's actually detecting the conceived thoughts not yet materialized. In the mental dimension, there's no limits. Limits are placed because of laws of physics. Mind can do anything. It's the body that is not capable of doing what the mind is capable of doing. Let's suppose that you are mentioned a name of a fruit that you've never seen or tasted. But if you go to Alpha and be connected to the right brain hemisphere and bring that name of the fruit in front of you, you're going to be able to describe that fruit, if you become a good clairvoyant, correctly, and to describe the taste of that fruit without even first experiencing it with your left brain hemisphere. Now, why I think that's the starting of the whole thing, I believe that humanity is moving in the wrong direction because they're limited to using only the left brain hemisphere when God, whatever we call God, gave us two brain hemispheres to use. The right one, which is the most valuable one, along with the left one. And 90% of people are using only the left one.
Discover Jose Silva's advice for better decision-making and goal setting at booksellers worldwide in audio, ebook, and print editions.